is coming from. So y'all seen this, we've seen it in local markets, in consumers being asking a lot of questions about where they're sourcing. And now that's just really taken off in the fiber space. The people that are buying, the brands, retailers who purchase and source U.S. cotton have been asking questions. They've been getting pressure from a lot of their shareholders and the people that buy cotton apparel, how the cotton that they're buying is sourced, how it's produced, what kind of standards that is taking place in that. And we have been excited about this. I mean, you may get nervous about that. What does that mean for me as a grower? But it matters to you. 85% of all the cotton that we produce here in the United States is exported. So what our brands overseas, the people that buy cotton or think about U.S. cotton, matters to you, the producer. It affects your price. It affects every aspect of your production. But this is something as a U.S. grower, you should embrace. The gains that we have made over the last 35 years in sustainability is something that we should be proud of. We have made tremendous gains in water reduction, water use reduction, energy use, doing things, we've sequestered a lot more carbon than we've ever had before. Things that we need to document and tell the people that are buying U.S. cotton. So that is why the U.S. Cotton Trust Protocol was created, to allow a one-size-fits-all platform that people that purchase U.S. cotton can have to ensure that what they're purchasing is widely sourced and sustainable. And that's why we developed this product. They need the requirements they need to have they need to be able to document what they're sourcing is sustainable. We have that tool with this program. So I hope you will sign up for this program if you're not already a member. We're going to talk about that, some of the benefits that we have with this program. This is a great opportunity to really give you a leg up. We want to put U.S. cotton on a higher footprint and playing field than our competitors. This is what this program does, because U.S. cotton is the most sustainably sourced cotton in the world. We just need to be able to document that and show that to give us a leg up on the people and our competitors to do that. So one of the things about when we created this board, the Cotton Trust Protocol was created in 2020, and this board represents the industry. It's not a board of people you don't know, people from overseas. We got some of those, but the main people on this board are people you know. We got 4 growers from each region of the Cotton Belt on this board. Matt Coley from Georgia's on the Cotton Trust Protocol board. Hank Likely, if he's still here, Hank, president of Staple Cotton. He's a member of the Cotton Trust Protocol board. So the parameters for this board were created by people that you know, people that understand the industry and want to make sure the Cotton Trust Protocol works for you, the producer. The Cotton Trust Protocol. So what we're doing with this program, so we have verifiable data that you can put in the system that gives you an idea of how you're doing on your farm. So if you're a member of the protocol, we compare your metrics to other growers in your region, see where I'm making improvements on my operation, and then we show an aggregate data platform that kind of tells the story of the U.S. cotton industry to our brands, retailers, and people that purchase U.S. cotton. It also is great verifiable information for our suppliers in the supply chain. So the people, the brands can see that they can verify they're purchasing U.S. cotton, they're purchasing U.S. Trust Protocol cotton, but also can see every step of that fiber movement throughout the supply chain, from the spinner to the dyer, to the manufacturer, all the way through, that they can verify that what they're sourcing is U.S. Trust Protocol cotton. Through this program, we've got tremendous brand support. We've got a lot of members of this program. Companies you know, Tama, Ralph Lauren, Target, Amazon, members that have already adopted and want to be a part, and they're paying membership dues to be a part of this organization. We're also being able to use these memberships to come to your farms, to be able to show the great work that's going on in U.S. cotton. Every time they come, they don't have a lot of understanding about what you do. They are more and more impressed about what they see on your operations every single day. I mean, they're really impressed about the technology you're using, the efforts you're doing on sustainability. It really it gives them the confidence that what they're sourcing is sustainable and true to what they need for their brand. One of the things that we've been able to do with this program, we've heard this a lot since the protocol was launched, is there a way we can compensate producers for being members? We have that now through the Climate Smart Cotton Grant. In 2022, or early 2022, USDA announced a $1.5 billion grant opportunity to encourage producers to adopt what they call climate smart practices on their farm. So the protocol at that point applied for a $100 million grant of this money through USDA, and we were approved for $90 million of the U.S. Climate Smart Cotton Grant. This has allowed us through this money to bring people online, bring people onto the protocol staff. We've got agronomists on staff, people that can help you get enrolled and help you make more improvements on your operation. So we've got a tremendous amount of partners with this grant. We've got Texas A&M, Cotton Incorporated, CCI, Cotton Council International. We've got some historically black colleges, University, North Carolina A&T, and Alabama A&M, the Soil Health Institute that are partners in this Climate Smart Protocol grant that we have. So our goal is to enroll 1,650 members. So to qualify for this money I'm about to talk about here in a second, you must be enrolled for the 23 crop. That's September the 1st, the deadline for that. So if you're not already enrolled, I encourage you to go ahead and get enrolled in that. You must fill out the questionnaire portion of that by that date. The field print can be actually done later by March, but you need to be enrolled in this program. So we're trying to get 1,650 growers enrolled for this Climate Smart Cotton Grant. So this is how it's going to work. So we're trying to get the first level of enrollment. We're trying to get 1.2 million acres. So if you're a protocol member and you get enrolled for 23 crop by September the 1st, we're going to pay you $5 an acre up to 706 acres, and that's per entity. So as long as you complete the enrollment and complete that process, by that date you're eligible for that money. Every step I'm about to talk about, you must be a protocol member to qualify. The second step is the largest pie of this. It's 582,000 acres we're trying to get done here. So if you want to do a practice change on your operation, say you want to adopt cover crops, or you want to go from no-till to strip till to no-till, or traditional till to strip till, you can do a 3-year. For 3 years, we'll pay you $35 an acre, up to 3 years to do that, to add that on your operation, but to do that. So we get this question a lot. What if I'm already doing cover crops? Well, I've been doing those for years. How do I fit in? If you want to make a change and tell you what you're planning to your practice, we can talk to you about that, and you make it qualify on those parameters. But this is an opportunity for you to be able to get some money out of being a protocol member and making some practice changes on your operation. We're also going to have technical teams that will go out there and help you with this. We're also going to talk about where you may be eligible for carbon sequestration, what your potential is from a carbon sequestration standpoint, to allow you to qualify for possibly the third set of this. We have one of our partners, the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund. They have a carbon trading platform, so if you have potential there and want to take a part of that, there's some opportunity there for you to do so through this project. So there's some great money opportunities for this program. And again, this is not per producer, this is per entity payments. So there's some opportunities for you, if you're a member of the protocol, to take advantage of this Climate Smart Cotton Grant. If you're not a member, I really encourage you to be a member. You go to trustuscotton.org. There's a step-by-step enrollment process of how to enroll in the program. If you don't want to fool with that, talk to me. I've got business cards here. I'm happy to help you get enrolled. We've got a team in Memphis that can help you with that. I'm happy to point you in that direction. And they'll walk you through the process of getting enrolled in U.S. Cotton. Taylor's here. Georgia Cotton Commission has done an excellent job of promoting the U.S. Cotton Trust Protocol. Taylor can help you as well. And if you market your cotton through Staple has done a great job. Staple Cotton has done a great job of helping us keep growers enrolled. So talk to them about this as well. We can help you get enrolled if you want to participate. So please take advantage of this opportunity. We want to help you with this. It's a great opportunity. Again, we're trying to make U.S. cotton more competitive across the globe. We have y'all have a great story to tell. You're doing an excellent job, and we need to be sharing this and helping us market your cotton. This is a great opportunity for you to get some money, but also help us continue to better market your cotton. So, Taylor, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Thank you again.
In the way that we generally class cotton now, we decided to push that deadline. That was one of the main reasons that we thought we could pull this meeting off here today. We do produce some really high quality cotton in this state. I think you'll see that in the presentation that Serena has. Before we get into the presentation, I want to call Eddie Beasley from Bayer Crop Sciences Health Plan, who is the sponsor of the program, just to make a couple comments.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Edward Beasley. I'm a technical agronomist for Delta Pine and Southern Division. I was told to kind of keep this short, so I'm spending my time today right now. I just want to say it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to support these awards. We've done this for years. We really appreciate the effort that you guys put into provide quality. We do it without you guys, and just want to say thank you. Really appreciate it.
All our award winners, I guess, after we come up, we'll do our presentation over on this side. And Brent, if you're ready, I'm ready. Go.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining for lunch, and it's another great year for us to get together to celebrate the great achievement of our producers. So this year is the 18th year for the Georgia Quality Cotton Award, and we are gathering here to celebrate the dedication, hard work of our producers and the labor put into the field. First of all, I would like to thank players for continuing to support this award, and also Georgia Cotton Foundation to support this award as well. So let's take a look at in terms of how do we rank the award and what award we will be given for today. So we'll have 4 different regions, separate Georgia into 4 different regions, depends on historical planting situations. And then for each region, we'll have 3 different acreage in terms of the award, less than 500 acres, 500 to 1,000 acres, and then over 1,000 acres for each of the awards. So overall we have 12 awards for each 12 award overall for this cotton quality award. Let's see how do we rank and how the nomination process works. So our agents work together with generals and work together with producers to verify the production acres, to verify the bills, and then submitting the award. Based on the average loan rate, we rank all the nominations and then select the best quality for each of the region and each of the category. If they get a higher average loan value, that means they have a higher rate. And then based on that, we calculate the premium based on the loan rate. Last year, the loan rate is 15 cents per pound. And for this award, our grower will get $500 check as a cash award, and Jenner and also grower both get a flag for their achievement. So first of all, I'd like to recognize our committee members, Dr. Robert and Dr. Philip Robert and I, and also Mr. Sills from Georgia Cotton Commission, and Lee Westland from Bears Safety, and Dusty Simply from Southern Cotton Ginners Association. I greatly appreciate their support on being on the committee member and also support for this award over the years. And then I also like to thank our agent. We had a very successful year this year with 52 nominations in total from all 4 regions. mostly grateful tribute to the decision from the Georgia County Commission moving this award from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year so that we can have more producers finish gaining process and also more people be able to participate on this award. So that's a great decision made, and I would like to say special thanks to all our agents who submitted their nomination. It's not an easy process. They have to work with trainers, work with producers, sign the document, getting all the information for the nomination process. And even though we cannot give award for everybody, but their work and hard labor and their dedication and to work with the agriculture community are definitely greatly appreciated. So we have all the agents' names listed over here for the nomination. Now let's begin our really celebration of the achievement of our producers and also giving each of the award for our producers. So in fact, for each of the awards giving out, I would like the producers to go over there to have their picture taken and also to receive the flags and checks. And also trainers to go over there. So without further ado, let's start with the award process. So for the Regional 1, Category 1, I will stand in this way to say the names because we don't have computer on here. For Regional 1, Category 1, less than 500 acres, we have the low value at 56.75 cents per pound with a premium of 4.75 cents per pound. And this award goes to Agent Clark from Stonier Jen and Blackhouse Company. Agent Clark, Mr. Clark is from Wilcox County, and the nomination is nominated by our agent, John Annette. So let's have everybody over here to receive the award. This year, because it's the middle of the year, some of our producers couldn't make it over here because they are busy on the field. So if the producers are not here, we will ask either the Jane or agent to bring the checks and flags back with them. Because we don't know when everybody will be on the stage, so if your name being called, try to run to the stage as quick as possible so that you can have a picture video with everybody. Or if you can show your hand to me that you are either producer or trainer or agent, I can direct them to a little bit longer. Okay, let's go with the second category, 500 to 1,000 acres for Regional 1. The premium is 4.23 cents per pound with a low value at 56.23 cents per pound. And this award goes to Mr. Mark Thompson from Arabic Jen at Arabic Jen Company, and it's from Pulaski County, and the nomination agent is Mr. J. Potter. Congratulations. The category 3 for Regional 1, the producer produced an average low value at 56.13 pounds per pound, cents per pound, and the premium is 4.13 cents per pound. And this award goes to Mr. Robert Lancaster, Jen and Hartwood, Georgia, Peanut and Jen from Pulaski County, and nominated by Wes Porter again. Have everybody vote here. Family are welcome over here to take pictures too if you want to join. Definitely hear some very exciting cheers from the Lancaster family about winning this award. From the baby. Congratulations. Now let's move to Regional 2, Category 1, less than 500 acres. And the producer produced an average loan value of 56.5 cents per pound with a premium of 4.5 cents per pound. And this award goes to Mr. Derek Davis, agent at Midwell Warehouse Company from Washington County. And this award is nominated by Robbie Tanner. Congratulations. Now let's move to Category 2, 500 to 1,000 acres, and the producer produced an average of 55.50 cents per pound of loan value, and the premium is 3.50 cents per pound. And this award goes to Mr. Robert Jones, then at South Georgia Cotton Gin LLC from Hughes County. Is nominated by Mr. Jason Edenfield. For Regional 2, Category 3, over 1,000 acres, the producer produced an average loan value of 55 cents per pound with a premium of 3 cents per pound. And this award goes to Mr. Chris Hopkins as well. Congratulations. And now for Regional 3, Category 1, the producer produced an average loan value of 56.81 cents per pound with a premium of 4.81 cents per pound. And this award goes to Jonathan. I practiced several times, but I still can't remember. Jonathan Skaggs and Blake Axel is just at GCC Gin Company Incorporated from Richmond. They are from Brooks County and nominated by Will Brown. For Regional 3, Category 2, the producer produced an average loan value of 56.06 cents per pound with a premium of 4.06 cents per pound. And this award goes to Wall Farms LLC, gin at South Georgia Cotton Gin from Coffee County, and is nominated by Ashley Smith. Congratulations. For the one, category 3, for regional 3, the producer produced an average loan value of 55.39 cents per pound, premium at 3.39 cents per pound. And this award goes to Brian and 10 counterparts, Jen and Omega Jen Company from Eastern County, nominated by Justin Ham. Congratulations. For the regional 4 category 1, the producer produced average loan value of 56.80 cents per pound with 4.80 cents per pound of premium. And this award goes to Lisa Steele Browner from Early County Gem Company, Jackson Hamlet. It's from Early County and nominated by Brian Prescott. Brian retired this year, so we'll have Stephanie Benton from Early County as agent participate on the award. For regional 4 category 2, the producer produced an average loan value of 54.86 cents per pound with 2.86 per pound of premium. And this award goes to producer Stephen Holston Jr. Jen and Global Leaf Jen Company. It's from Seminole Company. It's nominated by Cindy Meadows. And we have a new extension agent, Justin Audio, participate on the award. For regional 4 category 3, we have producer produced at 55.46 cents per pound with a premium of 3.46 cents per pound. And this award goes to Ms. Farr, Jen at Global Leaf Jen Company from Seminole County, nominated by Cindy again, and also Justin Campbell here to help participate on the award. Congratulations for all the 12 category winners. Last but not the least, we also give out the award for the producer who produced the best quality cotton over the year for all the nominations. And the best quality cotton award winners, they will receive a plaque, and also their gender will receive a plaque too. So, the producer is Jonathan Skies and Blake Axel. Congratulations. At Quickman, and the producer produced 56.81 cents per pound of cotton on average, on loan value, and quality premium is 4.81 cents per pound. Congratulations for both the trainers and producers. I saw Mr. Noah Bell from USDA Classing Office, and his staff is all here participate on the program. We would like to say great appreciation and thank you for you and your team working with our producers to create every single bale of cotton produced in Georgia. Without their support and help, we could not grant the quality over the years, and we could not give you the award every year. So great appreciation your help. And also, everybody participate on the program, the generals, the agents, our producers, for what you do to make Georgia cotton the best quality of cotton all over the world. Thank you very much for this award. I greatly appreciate our sponsors, Georgia Cotton Commission and Deere, for supporting of this program.
Believe it or not, we still have 3 more door prizes. The next one will be for a $250 gift card. That number is 576886. These 9 calls is his, but it's not. 576939. Yes, sir. All right. Well, and then while we get our next presentation, which is from Dr. Wes Porter, the 5 different people have their own drawing, and we'll let them come do that and see if they have better luck than us. Thanks, Taylor. We're going to take a minute. If you visited the booth, we've got a grade rifle ticket. We want you to pull that out right now. We'll draw one for red, white, and blue we have over here. Try to get a random one. All right, so the number on this one is 511338. $511,338. Going once. We'll try again. All right, this one is 511366. All right. Well, congratulations. Keep it up here in the corner, so we'll make sure you get it. Thank you. Annette, you don't get off.
Yeah, this way I get to
Yeah. While Annette comes up, I'll go ahead and start it. So appreciate us hosted over, getting hosted over in East Georgia. Appreciate doing in the season meeting, and we're going to talk about some stuff that we can think about doing moving into the harvest season. What we need to think about, considerations, where we stand with the crop, etc. So what I'm going to do is kind of start us off with about 10 or 12 short slides. Talking about where we stand, what we've been doing, how we've addressed some of this in the past. And we've got Roger Zay from Deere and Annette Bitto from Tama. And all 3 of us will sit down right there, and we're going to have to open up to a panel discussion after I get done. So all y'all don't leave, make sure you stay around and do this, see if you can kind of sneak out. But y'all stick around, and we're going to go through this, and we'll wrap up after that. So, and then y'all did it. That's all right. Yeah, no, that's good. That's fine. So, completely, so we're going completely non-scripted. So we need some participation from y'all after I get done. My presentation is here in just a minute when we start on the panel discussion. So, really, my presentation is probably geared more towards what we've been doing on the academic and national level from contamination prevention. So, we'll go through it, and then we'll turn over to the panel. So before I go, I want to give a special thanks to Dr. Ed Barnes, Vicki Martin, and Martin Schreiner at Cotton Incorporated, because some of the data that you're going to see here is shared from them. So just with that caveat, know that that's here, know that that's coming from them. I shared some of it. So some of the things that we're going to look at when I talk about plastic contamination, we got 3 different areas in the nation. It may not be as big of an issue, but when you make it to the middle level, that's when it could be a huge issue, and they really have problems when they're spinning that cotton. So some of the field efforts, we've got 4 or 5 different areas that we're working in and trying to address these issues. That's going to be detection, of course, education. I had to leave that slide in there. That's coming from the Cotton Incorporated standpoint. We'll talk about what we're doing from the education perspective in just a few minutes. Automation,
cotton twine, and then some of the wrap performance. So we'll talk about what all of those mean as we move forward. So one of the things that we're doing from the field perspective, and this is an effort across the cotton belt, so I just want to keep in mind, it's kind of hard for us to sit on the stage what's going on. But Jason Ward, North Carolina State, Bobby Martin at Texas A&M, John Muir at the Lubbock Gin Lab there in Lubbock, Texas, are all leading different efforts for looking at module handling and moving modules from the field, module truck to the feeder. And you're going to hear in a few minutes why some of that's as big of a critical issue as it is, and why module handling, why we're even focused on it. So you may already know. You know that it's an issue, and just know that it's somewhere we need to be. But a lot of the research that these guys are doing is looking at actually tracking these modules with cameras through that entire process to say, hey, do we identify a damaged module at this point, or this part of the field, that we need to treat this module different than the others because we know it's already damaged, we have potential for plastic contamination, or are we identifying, as you see on some of these pictures, are we identifying damage at a particular site in the field? And so, or along the processing chain. So you can see where we're focusing on. These are live captured images from each one of these: the field, the gin yard, and then that's the module feeder. So the nice thing about this software is at this point we're not doing a ton to really prevent, we're just tracking to see if we have damage at that point, knowing that, all right, we know that we had a damaged module here, we need to treat it differently, set it aside, gin it later, move it, wherever, so that we have identified that problem. All right, next, some of the educational efforts. Of course, Cotton Incorporated, we remiss, we didn't thank them for everything they helped push out across the cotton production board, but when we look at contamination, I put 4 little subsets of different things that we have up here that they have pulled together and put out there, so feel free to look through any of those if you've had any of these problems. But contamination from textile mill perspective, prevention of plastic contamination, you've got prevention of plastic contamination when handling the cotton modules. Again, that's some of the same authors we just talked about there. And then proper handling of ground cotton modules from the field to the gin level. And so that one I think is a little bit older, but it's still a relevant publication or video that you have there. All right, so this is something else that I've been lightly or peripherally involved with that I'm not sure how many of y'all stay abreast of some of the stuff that happens and some of the things that we do, but from my national society, the American Society of Ag Biological Engineering, we do a lot of standards for machinery out there across the nation that are supposed to be or should be followed, can be followed by manufacturers. And so when we talk about the John Deere's, in this case Tama, there are standards that they use when they go into production on particular pieces of equipment. The list goes on and on and on. So a big standard, and it actually was selected for National Standard Award this past year through ASABE, was the module wrap performance standard. And so here it is, the cover. And so originally it just included your square module coverage, right? That's all it is. It was a standard on how the life of those, what they're supposed to do, etc. And now I took some snippets out of here for you to look at, only the round module portion. So we went back and worked with a national group to add in round modules to this and some of the round module performance. And so the statement I'll make with that, coming from the national organization side or the ag engineering side, is that a company doesn't necessarily have to follow this standard, but then it's, and just being blunt, then it's up to you whether you buy that wrap that's followed this standard or not. And so it would say that it meets the standard of the ASABE S615.2, that it meets all requirements of that standard. It has been approved by that standard. It's approved through the testing procedures and all. This is pretty small, but if you search that standard, you can find it. It's all online. It just basically says a few things about punctures, about how it's supposed to hold the cotton, how it's supposed to help prevent rain, wind, a lot of other things on there. So I think it's nice that we have a national standard that we should go by on these module wraps for those to follow. So we're not just having any module wrap out there, that you can buy anything on the market and not know what the quality of that is. So gin effort update, a lot of things going on from the gin level. I'm familiar with some of them, not familiar with all of them. Some of you may be familiar with some of them. I know we have some of the systems in Georgia and some gin. You can look across, you have the TAMU and you've got fiber supported, you've got a bunch of different things. For auto removal is basically what we're doing at the gin level here for fiber contamination. And then if you look on some of the research, like I said, it's auto removal, thermal removal of it, and then the fiber competition, and I'll talk about that a little bit. Some of the big players there, Goldmine, Viper, Pies, and Vision. So just want to throw some of the equipment up there. I don't have much on what they're actually doing. I think I got one or two more slides to go panel discussion. But depending on what you're doing, what process, if you look here, if you're in the fiber process, there's 4 or 5 different companies. Booster, I'm not even going to try, Tool Slager, Lopez, Premier, and then Bitto, and then yarn protection once we get to the yarn perspective. Booster again, and then Yarn Master there, the ones that are common to the market or available in the market. So let's talk about some data for just a second, just to see where we stand. We just presented the Cotton Fiber Quality Awards, and so as we talk about these, let's look and see where we're at, where we stand, what's the contamination look like as we're moving forward. So this is plastic contamination. As you can see from, if y'all can read that, I know that the lights are a little bit bright, but I think you can see what's going on. The first green bar right here is 2020. If you can't see that, that's 2021. This is 2022. And so what you also might not be able to see, that blue line is the total number of bales classed across, and then this is U.S. total plastic, then those bales, and so you can see the samples called for plastic here, and then the crop size in a particular year. Take it for what it's worth. And this data was relevant through March, so at the end of the season, end of the 2022 season. And what's kind of was a little probably concerning is that we saw a very, very high number of plastic calls in 2021, drastically up in 2020, but what's also is nice now to see is we've recovered really well from that. We're back down to our 2021 levels, actually lower than the 2021 levels when we look at that. Cotton production acreage was off about 1 million acres, if you look, not quite right in there. 800,000 acres in that particular year. So if we look at where we're at compared to the total number of plastic calls, it's nice to see the numbers are starting to come back down. 2021 versus 2022 by office. So again, if you want to understand what's happening, we've got classing offices across the U.S. From South Carolina all the way out to the western U.S. and New Mexico region. The green bars here, I'm not sure how well y'all can read these. This is Florence, Macon, Rayville, Dumas, Memphis, Abilene, Corpus, Lubbock, Lamesa, and Visalia. And 2021 is the green bar, 2022 is the yellow bar. So all across the board, you see for most of the calls were much lower in 2022. Again, as you saw in that average bar, we did have one side in Macon that had a little bit higher plastic calls, about 90 more in 2022 than they did in 2021. And Lubbock, this is what I think drove a lot of it in 2021, was Lubbock had a high number of calls in 21, which basically was reduced by 2/3 back in 2022. And so we had a couple of others that had higher calls that dropped down, but overall we see that there was none of those really big outliers. We had a high number of calls across the nation. So let's all look at that for just a minute as I talk through it, just to kind of get an idea of what's going on, and then we'll move on forward. So one of the last slides, if we know we're getting plastic calls, we want to understand what colors the plastic are. I think this is always relevant information. So y'all can see the numbers up there. Everybody knows kind of what's going on. The big ones that we're looking at, of course, are your blue, black, pink, and then yellow calls. And so we know where that's at, know what it's looking at, and we can relate back to where those are coming from. All right, then all extraneous matter, when we look at the 2022 crop, again, that's relevant through March. And so from the end of 2022, the extraneous matter calls across the U.S. actually came more from bark in this particular year. So if you look, there was 600,000 calls of bark in that year. I don't have that broke out by region. Then we look at the plastic calls. We made the comment earlier that there were just under 4,000. So, plastic is an issue, but you see that we have some other issues we need to be addressing too when we look through this. We've got grass, seed coat, and bark that are just much higher than plastic calls. So last thing, all extraneous matter. Look at it comparing 2021 to 2022. You see there's the two bark calls. Here, if we look back at seed coat, notice we dropped down. Seed coat was higher in 2021. We know it has some issues, usually environmental associated issues with that. And we've already discussed it. We noticed that our plastic calls have dropped from 2021 down to 2022, meaning we're doing what we're supposed to from that perspective, trying to get a handle on those. All right, and then is it extraneous matter or not? And so in this case, we're actually, all the calls were nice, were labeled as a 71. It's not good if we start seeing those calls labeled as a 72. And so the fact that they're labeled as 71 is much better than 72. We saw 0 calls and 72 glassing for a training matter in that particular year. So, before I go to questions, well, we'll just go to panel discussion. I think unless you have questions in general about any of that data for us, because I think now what we're going to do is turn it over to Roger and then Annette. They're going to give you a quick little insight about what each one of their companies is doing from their perspective to help some of the plastic contamination prevention, and then we're going to open the floor up. All right. Like
Stand up here, hopefully you can still hear me. But I guess, like Wes said, I'm Roger Zach, the John Deere company. Just give you a little background. 34 years with the company, the last 14 years has been kind of harvesting the product family. So, yes, I have basically launched the 7760 originally back in 2009, and went through the second, third generations now, the CP690. I have been launching the CP770. I would say from the perspective of John Deere, contamination, we've always focused on it. Matter of fact, we actually delayed the original launch of the machine because of some concerns on our end about making sure that we weren't doing anything on the machine side that was causing any tears in the plastic at that time. Working with Tama closely too, probably 20 years, 20 plus years if you think about it in the design of the machine and its wrap as part of obviously the protocol system. So we continue to focus on that, continue to work with Tama as our supplier, our approved supplier, recommended supplier of wrap, and working on the standard. I think, from my perspective, thinking back, and also reminding everybody that the machine's been out now 14 years. What I see, and more background, I try to get in the seat of the machine every year. I have a goal every year for myself and my team to spend at least 100 hours in the field with machines every year in different markets, but to make sure that we understand what's going on with the machine and also on the handling graphic side of it. I would say from the machine perspective, there are probably some opportunities on the older 7760s and even some 690s now to make sure and pay attention to the wrap feed floor system, the bale itself, lacing and stuff like that. You can see, you can pick up on the field, I can pick up on the field when I go out. I see some certain markings on the modules that are not critical as far as contamination, but they could be if they start rubbing on the side of the module truck, where I'm going out, right, there's obviously an issue with the belt lace that probably needs replaced, or belt tracking, or on a machine, or even if they're trying to build something more on the feed floor. So from the machine perspective, we're pretty confident. We're still focused on the design and everything else to make sure that as long as the machine's maintained correctly, the machine's not damaging the wrap. The biggest opportunity I see after that, though, is, and getting picked out of it, I know that you probably don't put the best person on the handler tractor all the time. And I know that more of your seasoned operators are on the picker, which they need to be, but that handler tractor is very important. I spent some time in it, and I can tell you that you can mess up putting modules around, and that's what I probably see more than anything else. As far as from the handling from the machine through the engineering process. So with that, Annette, and a little bit about what Tama's doing.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Annette Bitto, and I am from South Alabama originally, and I grew up on a cotton and peanut farm, so I love getting to come over to y'all's neck of the woods and hearing more about cotton farming and seeing what's going on. A little bit about my background. I started actually with John Deere close to 20 years ago and was part of the team that did bring the 7760 to life. So as somebody who spent a lot of time on a module builder, I thought that thing was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So it was near and dear to my heart, and it still is to this very day. A couple of years ago, I made the decision to leave John Deere and join the Tama team. And so being back in the cotton industry is great, and it's just a privilege to work alongside with y'all. So that said, what's Tama doing? A lot of fingers are often pointed towards the wrap as the big bad elephant in the room, right? And folks want to know what we're doing. And so we have a many-faceted approach. And One is we start at the dealer level, right? Because we sell Tama wrap through John Deere dealers. And so if there's a John Deere event, we are there to help not only support the techs, the salesmen, the folks that you see at your John Deere dealer, but they often have customer-facing events. And so we're there, we're handing out our business cards, we're talking to the generals that are present at those, and we try to be as familiar with the machine and what can go wrong as Roger and his team are. And I'm not a technician, but I can get up and kind of look and see if what's going wrong with the wrap, and tell you what adjustment may need to be done with the machine. So we're there to help in that capacity as well. And if you as a producer have issues that you want to say, hey, Annette, what's going on here? Download our app on your smartphone, and if you punch in your situation and submit it to us, I'll get an immediate notification, and I can, as long as your phone number's in there, I'll call you within 24 hours and we can talk. There's also a helpful hints and tricks guide that you can read on our app as well. So if you don't want to talk to me, you can just look at that, and it's like, if X is going wrong, do Z. And so that's a quick fix that can help with misfeeds, can help with anything wrap related. Also, on our team, we're tiny but mighty, but we've got a couple folks who do nothing but focus on the gen side. So if you're a genner and want Tama to come out, let us know. We are happy to send out one of those two folks, or like I said, I'm in South Alabama, I'm not that far away. I can come over, and I'm happy to speak at a meeting that y'all may have with your growers. But education is very first and foremost to making sure that ground module of seed cotton, when it's coming to the gen, is free of contamination. So we want you to know that we're a partner in this process with y'all. So I've got my cards up here. So after the panel's over, if y'all want my contact information, please don't hesitate. But know that if you download that app, you're gonna get my phone number and the phone number of all the Tama team. So thank you for having us, and most importantly, thank you for your business. We do appreciate it.
Thanks, Annette. All right, there we go. So, y'all hear this? So, let me grab it. There we go. Now it's working. This is delayed. Sorry. So thanks, Annette. Thanks, Roger. So with that, we want to open the panel. We want to open it up for discussion. Anybody, I guess, broad comments I would have, we have a lot of issues from the fiber quality perspective. We have a lot of opportunities from fiber quality perspective. And if you've heard anything today, I would say earlier this morning, and everybody I've talked to about our crop production season this year, where well, it's been kind of a weird year. We feel like we're behind, or we are behind a little bit in crop, with crop growth and development. We were really cool and wet early, pushing some of our planting dates back, behind optimal in a lot of cases across the state. Also, even if you did get it planted in time, a lot of guys I talked to told me that, guess what, I might have gotten it in time, but that cool weather we had in June, wet, rainy weather we had kind of just did not give me the growing degree days I wanted to push that crop along. So that means that unless we just really catch up over the next month or so, we may be looking at a little bit of a delayed harvest moving to the fall. So when we get to that point, we really need to consider what we're doing for it. I know Cam talked about it, and he stressed what we're doing for the foliation, do a good job with the foliation, getting those leaves off, and get as much of the plant material out of the way as we can before we go into harvest. And then after that, it's kind of up to you to make sure the machines are ready to go. So, all right, guys, any questions? We need to prompt some questions. If there's no questions, we planned a little activity. The front table right here, of course, that's what they get for being UGA agents and sitting at the very front. So they just got volunteer. I see Shane looking at me like, no way. But guess what, Shane? We only need 4. So we got the 4 right there. So Rocky, Savannah, Aubrey.
I got
what?
a question.
Oh, good.
But it ain't really complicated. So I'm gonna make sure I get the lady from Tama's room. What about the rat around the top of the paper? You know, pass up and be careful with your luminol.
I think they ain't good.
All right, let's.
It is y'all budget.
So let's. You want to? It's coming to you.
I'm waiting to hear what.
Doc, we want to know about, what's the number one question I get from my hay producers is about.
Oh, yeah, hay baler now.
Yeah, I jumped over to the hay baler side.
That's not all right.
I preface that. I'll be glad to ask anything you want to ask.
All right, you don't have to ask any questions.
Well, let me start this off a little bit, and that we pay attention here, because it's going to be both of us here a little bit, just to make sure everybody understands too. You know, there's a lot of testing that goes in I would say not only in the machine, and we talked about some of this, talked about this earlier, walking around here. You know, my engineering staff, Tama's engineering staff is actually down in South Texas to kick off harvest, and obviously with machines where we've got some futuristic machines, stuff we're working on, running in the field every year, but we also work with Tama quite closely on materials, and I've learned over the years that plastic is not plastic. There's quite a variation there. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot that goes into the material, but also the thickness differences and stuff like that. So, you know, there's a continued focus on not only the machine, but also on, from Tama's perspective, on innovation on that side to make sure that the performance is there. There's basically two different kinds of wrap, right? Okay, I'm gonna make sure I understand. But you know, you pick the yellow wrap, basically the same wrap. It's a Tama cotton wrap plus. Okay, premium. And then you have the value wrap. So there is a difference there. And, you know, really from a John Deere perspective, we still, you know, we approve both wraps. We would still say, if you look at it, even Tama's website, we'd still recommend the yellow thing, just because of what we know about the two material wrap and the tacking layer there and the performance of that, and that's the one that actually meets the standard that's put out. You know, with all that said, the test facility that Tama has in Israel, and something I want to make sure everybody understands, is that they also grow cotton. So they have the 7760, they have the CP690, and they're getting a 770 this year. So they have all variations of machines, a little bit from the environment that they're harvesting in over there in Israel, but they also have basically a weather sort of test room with a mocked up feed for the baler, so they can lower temperatures, they can raise temperatures, they can simulate wet weather or whatever to see how the wrap performs within our system. So that's what I'm really impressed about working with Tama over the years, is the fact that they're not complacent with the quality of the wrap or their innovation. They continue to push an envelope there too. Always focusing on the quality side, but also on the price side.
Well, I'm going to follow up with Roger's comments by doing a quick demonstration. So he said the only difference between the yellow and pink is the color, right? Yeah, that's true, but there's also a story behind it, and I'll just give you that sidebar story real quick. The difference in the pink is that the pink story is there was a farmer in the Boot Hill, Missouri, who lost his sister's breast cancer, and they wanted to do something to honor her memory. And so Mike Bieber, who's on our team, heard the story, was moved by it. His wife also battled breast cancer, and he worked with our team in Israel to develop the pink wrap. And so today, a portion of all the pink wrap that's sold goes to cancer research. So know that if you're buying pink wrap, that's what we're doing to support cancer research and increase survivorship. But that said, how about, I guess, a couple hands here, just two right now, and we'll start with this. So the yellow, all Tama wrap is the same thickness. I get that question quite frequently. People often say, oh, it's not the same when you can stand and when you can back up. There you go. Turn the other way. There you go. All right, so what's your name? Derek. All right, Derek's gonna back up and just, all right, so hang on, Derek, stop right there. So if y'all are buying wrap for your ground module builder picker, each portion of wrap is about 70 feet long. There's 2 pieces of plastic within each portion of wrap. The first portion is non-tacky, and so that's where Derek has stopped. Now Derek is gonna back up, and you'll hear the adhesive coming off of that piece right now. Very slowly. Back up a little more. All right, stop right there. Okay. So, yep. So this first half, of course, is what goes around the round module. So it's not going to stick, right? But then that second half, it's tacky. So it's going to wrap around the non-tacky portion. And Mike Beaver, my 79-year-old colleague, likes to say it's not glue, it's adhesive. And it is a specially engineered adhesive for this round module wrap. Yeah, you're laughing because you know Mike. Yeah, yes. So at that point, the round module brake would engage and it would pull that off and it would wrap. It's going to stick because it's very adhesive, right? So, yeah. It's not glue, it's adhesive.
It's nice glue. I'm going to jump in here. Don't go away here because I'm going to jump into this here a little bit and let's review this out. There's the pitch. I can talk. You can hear me, can't you? All right.
Okay, so back up a little bit here. So you all notice the 4 RFID tags, and here's the whole deal with traceability. So every one of the modules has 4 RFID tags in it. Your system identifies it in there which one is reading. It only really needs one of them for harvest identification cotton to read it, but the reason the 4 are in there is more so if you have a weight bridge coming into the gin and you want to use a RFID reader so that there's 4 in there so that the gin can pick it up. Now, those are for traceability. The machine actually will roll a bale up without the RFID tags, but if it doesn't read one, especially on the 770 with the new display on it, because you're keeping track of all of them, the 690 is a little harder to see past, I think, five last run modules. The 770 with the new G4 display, you can actually go through all your modules. If you don't reset it within between fields and stuff like that, you can get a whole year, you can get 2 years, whatever. They're all in there. You can scroll through them. I can scroll through a machine, hear the other data. 600 some modules to put out just to look at all the data. But that's what the machine's reading and basically IDing and putting into your harvest identification. This little tag here is the important tag that actually triggers the machine to say start to put on the brake. I don't know if you really pay attention to the machines, the 760, the 690, they run at a little different speeds as far as when they start rolling the bale. The middle process, then they start slowing down, and then when they see this is when they put the brake on to activate the Z-lock to separate. Now here's something that for some reason you double wrap, and you look at it, and this is back to pointing on between the machine and the wrap. But for some reason, it's rare, but for some reason the tag would have come off for some reason on the Tama wrap or competitive wrap. The machine doesn't see that. It's going to try to roll another module, especially on the older machines. So the older machine is set up to say, I'm feeding too much, I'm not going to feed more than 2 wraps. I'm going to feed like the old 7760, would feed 24 wraps if you can solve it. So I just wanted to point that out as we were planning this nice display.
So,
The adhesive?
yeah, that's it. So while we're talking about it, I'm going to sidetrack for about 30 seconds and talk about, we're talking about traceability and HID, and that's a lot of work that we actually, our program has done at the University of Georgia. We've utilized the HID information on those tags to backtrack spatial fiber quality within the field. And so we're getting closer and closer to be able to do that more in an automated method. And so that's a really powerful tool when we start looking at what we're producing within the field. Is not only a yield data layer now, but it's also a fiber quality layer that we're sitting there. At this point, it's just module by module, which is fairly coarse, right? But usually we're going to make about 4 fiber bales out of each module, depending on module size, give or take within that perspective, and we track that back and know within about a 4 bale resolution what our fiber quality looks like across that field. And so you could think of any reason that we could utilize that. You know, we may be doing some variety trial work, that would be nice, maybe doing some other research on the field, we may have some other field dynamics happening there, weather patterns, etc. So it's been really neat to go back and backtrack a lot of fields across the state using that HID information, because when that's wrapped, we know, you all know if you use the harvest identification, you get a spatial location of the module creation and a spatial location of the module drop, and then you get about 16 other data points that are associated with that module at that time. And so it's a lot of information embedded in those tags that maybe sometimes we're not fully using, but from the gen perspective, it's also nice because a lot of your grower information is also embedded in that tag when you bring it in. If you do have the RFID bridge at the gen level, you have that opportunity to automate that, bringing it in from that perspective. Sorry, we got off tangent for just a minute. So.
All right, so this is our blue value wrap. Again, the 2 colors that meet the standard are yellow and pink, right? So this is the same micron of plastic, is the same length of plastic as the yellow and blue. The difference is we're at the middle point right here, right? And so you haven't heard anything, correct? And in that yellow, you were hearing things, right? You were hearing noise. Right here with the Z-lock, this is the only portion where the adhesive is on this blue piece of plastic. And so on a regular size piece of round of blue value wrap, it's 18 inches of adhesive. And so if you're going to be transporting your ground modules less than 25 miles, if it's going to be on the gen yard less than a month, if it's not going to have a couple weather incidents on it, like say a hurricane, this is fine. But if you are transporting your round modules more than 25 miles, it's going to be on the gen yard for more than a month. You could have a hurricane come through. Don't jeopardize your crop. Use the standard. Use the yellow or the pink, because it's going to withstand all of that. So, tear it a little apart with the Z-lock. Super. It's very sticky adhesive. Yes. Yeah. So, all right. So that's the blue. And back to Roger's point, John Deere and Tama partner together to make sure that this is it's engineered to work in all 3 models of machines, and Tama and John Deere have been doing this for actually probably 25 plus years at this point. So, but yeah. So any questions?
I heard a couple of weeks ago at another meeting, like you said, the yellow meets the standard, the blue doesn't, and there's certain criteria on the length of travel and what for the blue. And I also heard that with the new paper that does the oversized rolls, there John Deere has a diameter recommendation not to use the blue. Is that correct?
We originally put that out there because we wanted to make sure and have another test season with the blue wrap. So, but right now, I can tell you that we're rolling up at the 96 inch with the blue also. It's just like Annette said. We approved the yellow because we had more faith in it, and because we know the tacking and everything else is going to help hold that together. But I will tell you that the 770, you can run both and you can run up to that 96 inch if you want to. Also, the blue though, if you puncture it, you could have that tear propagate, and there's nothing that help hold it together. Is what our concern is as far as from the John Deere perspective. So we know how long it takes. We know that uptime is important. Also, I know that there's probably some time in the morning to go ahead and refeed the module, but I probably seen too often, and I've heard feedback from gens that they don't like to pick up busted modules, and I think that's a decision between the grower and the gen on how they want to handle a busted module. That's the last thing I like to see. I was joking at lunch here a little bit that I haven't done it, but I finally did it this last season down in Arizona towards the tail end of the season. I wasn't the machine I was running, but somebody else put up the machine the night before, and had a header incident, decided they would leave the cotton in the baler, and I didn't identify that before I went to crack the baler to make it easier to clean, and I had a 76-inch module that I got to clean up that morning. So it was a fun activity for the team. And they got to make a lot of fun of the boss.
Yeah, the percentage of sales for the blue wrap, is it correlated with the cold plastic in the bales? I mean, we're not seeing more contamination in blue.
I think it was 17%, and there's less blue sold than that.
I was going to say, it's probably a higher percentage of blue calls than percentage of blue wraps. That's the other thing is, within the blue, I think there's some others that we could probably call out that's probably not wrap. We talked about that a little bit even on the yellow. With National Cotton Council, there's probably some hits on yellow that we know are not wrapped or other items. But I will tell you that, you know, from what I see globally too, because I do see, I've been in China, I've been in Brazil the last 30 days. I've looked at a lot of modules in Brazil that are not Tama wrapped, that have some pretty loose tails, and the large operators over there are pretty concerned about contamination. They're concerned about some of the test wrap that they've been using from other suppliers and what they're seeing as far as tails loose, what that means during their hauls and stuff. So they're still aiming more at using the Tama wrap, and that's why we're still, like I said, from a design perspective and the recommendation and approval, we're still not approving anybody else yet globally.
Any more questions?
I will see one more question here since I have this group. I want to put out there too, I mean, the information that Wes shared, it's awesome information. We did a lot of stuff, 8 years ago on Go Cotton app that's out there on YouTube. I would also tell you that there's some good YouTube videos, training videos, especially on the new 770 and the Gen 4 display and stuff. You know, these machines come out of the factory. We try to calibrate them. Let's talk through the calibrations because I've seen a lot of machines. You've got to take the time to calibrate the handler height. You've got to take the time to let the handler go through its process, zero out the moisture sensor, and also calibrate the yield documentation. I would recommend doing that a couple times through the season, especially if you're going to transport the machine longer distances and bounce it around. It's good to go back to that process in the morning after the oil's warmed up, especially on handler height. That gives you your accuracy on your bale weight. You can reweigh a module. You tell your operators this, if it looks like when the machine's not supposed to take the weight until it thinks it's got it accurate. So if it's on turn and stuff, you'll see it flashing and then give a weight. But if it doesn't look like it's accurate, if you hit the handler button again, especially if you're traveling on smooth ground, it will reweigh. So you get the accuracy, and that's the one that will put in your HID file. From a harvest dock perspective, as far as yield monitoring, I would definitely do that at the beginning of the season every year, and probably throughout the season a couple of times. It's an easy process, especially on the machine. But that get your accuracy as good as possible.
I'll put in a plug for the NCC. They developed a series of training for ginners, so if y'all have new folks or just need a refresher before the ginning season starts, there is a series of videos out both in English and in Spanish that y'all can use to use as you crank your gins back up and get your folks reacclimated with the round modules and the best way to handle those as they go into the feeder floor. So just a plug if you didn't know that.
All right, since you're good. Yeah, so he's asking, is there any change or any recommendation change on yellow versus blue using the spear? That's the handling spear to pick it up.
I will tell you my perspective. Originally, like I said, close to 15 years ago, we didn't recommend use of spears originally because we were concerned. I have no concerns over use of the bale spear, especially with the premium wrap. I would be a little bit more concerned with the Blue Raptor again. Depends on your handler operator. If you misfire and hit the side of the module with the spear on that Blue Wrap, you're going to be cleaning the bale up. But as far as moving them, I have seen enough bales globally moved. The spear is primarily what's used in Brazil, in China, and a lot here in the U.S. And I don't see any problem with the use of the spear versus our original handler. It might be even a little easier on it at times. Just don't scoot here again. I mean, if you scoot it, have your operators scoot it along cotton stalks trying to poke the spear in it, then yes, then if there's a problem as far as cutting the wrap along. The density's there. I mean, but we've seen the spears penetrate them fine also. I guess here again, it's more of a four-pronged spear than one trying to pierce it in the center. You're getting 8% more cotton in the 770 than you are in a 690, and that's whether you go to 94, you're still going to get, at least 5% of that density in that. So you are getting more cotton. It's a denser bale than the 770s put up in the 690. Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of using the spear.
Any more questions? Well, I want to thank both of Roger and Annette for coming today and talking about this with y'all. I'm sure I know we're about to wrap up to close it off. I don't know if they'll be around lunch or not after, but Annette said they have a helpline for sure if you're having issues and you're getting started or having issues with the wrap. Just know, we look at cotton quality awards and look at what we do at the end of the season. We want to make sure from our harvest perspective all the way through our gin, getting those modules to the gin. We're not taking modules that are in bad shape to the gin, so it's easier for them to move on to the feeder house and everything else. So, again, it's a critical thing for us to look at. I would go back to some of the data we shared. We know that all that's not yellow plastic call. We know that a lot of it in some cases is grocery bags and other plastic contaminant that gets out there. We know what some of the black is. In a lot of cases, we're doing a lot of things at the field level to try to identify and eliminate, but we're not there yet where that stuff's fully implemented. So we have to do everything we can up front to prevent that. Because we start seeing certain calls like that, right? It's pretty drastic if you're the guy with a plastic call. I guess that's the take-home message is it's not a big deal if you're the guy that got the plastic call, and then it's a big penalty on you. It's a big discount on fiber. So either way, if there's no more questions, Taylor.
I want to point out that we have on our YouTube channel all those modules that the National Cotton Council made, both split into the individual chapters and as a whole. That was all done here in Georgia because the council at the time, Ronnie Lee was chairman, saw real importance to educate people on that as much as possible. So whether you're a grower or a gender, there's something there for you on that. If nothing else, we'll thank you. Yes, sir.
I wouldn't say it's biodegradable, it's recyclable, but it's the same plastic. The blue and the pink is the same plastic, and yellow. Right, the difference is the adhesive.
I think there is recyclers for the wrap, and then also even the cores now, return on the cores of the program. So we're trying to be very environmentally conscious. No, I think that goes back to, I'm not an expert on the spinning side, but that goes back to basically the blue non-tacky and yellow paint non-tacky is same material. So that would be the same, I guess, challenge within the spinning industry as far as that side of it. So we haven't figured out a biodegradable, and like I said, we wouldn't want to keep that in the yarn anyway. I think that would take a little bit of an issue.
Well, I just want to thank them again. It would be very easy for John Deere and Tama both to kind of rest on their laurels and not communicate out with people. I really appreciate them for all the effort that they've done, not only in coming to this meeting, but to educate producers on the whole about this issue. So, thank you, guys. So Roger will be around. I know Annette's got a booth to break down.
Also, numbers, it's
Yeah, we do. But we're going to draw 2 tickets, and then we'll adapt to something else. We haven't lost a few people. The next prize, now that you've been educated, is another roller wrap from Tama, and the number on that is 576-874. 576-937. All right. Can you get with Annette on your draft? Okay. Then the last one is a $500 Visa gift card. 576-894. 576-843. We'll try one more, then we're going to call 576-897. All right. That's all we have for you. I know the Jenners, Dusty Finley wants to, they're going to have a little quick meeting this afternoon. We appreciate all of you for coming and all our sponsors for the support and all our speakers and everything. This was, I think it was very good. Thank you all.